doesn't give us the right to now become foul because they're foul. No, they're foul, and we have to. No, sir.
I can't hit him with a right across the jaw.
What the first lady, Michelle Obama, say? When they go low, we go high. And that has always been our MO, even as a people. Our ancestors. We come from good stock. Just in terms of making good decisions and really making decisions that are community, more holistic centered than individual. And when you look at everything, when you looked at the evidence that was shared over the past couple of days, and his attorneys will try to say, oh, they didn't really have a case.
Lying.
They'll and it's almost
dirty.
as if what's the chapter in Revelation where they talked about the leader, that will be giving out the false information, and people are just eating it up,
and
it's just like, wow. Yeah, it's almost like that's in action right now,
Yeah, I just didn't say the Antichrist had orange hair. I'm sorry.
But I'm really excited about the opportunity to have those types of conversations. So yesterday's book club, that conversation was very inspirational, but it was also very therapeutic. And I think we all need that right now. We all need opportunities where we could, we probably all need therapy. That's a whole nother conversation. But we also need spaces where we could dialogue and communicate with people who can help us kind of think through ideas and can help us think through solutions. And that's what I love about Christian Authors on Tour, because we have all of these authors with all of these amazing books, and they tap on some type of life issue that somebody is going through, and so we're really excited. The one thing that I do want to mention, Pastor, is that, 2021 is our Christian Book Tour year. And so we have a number of Christian Book Tour events that are coming up. And because of COVID-19, everything right now is virtual. But we're gearing up for our first tour stop, which is the Ladies of Christian Authors on Tour. And we're featuring 8 dynamic women of God. Yes, the ladies.
What about the men? What will be the men?
Well, I'll get there in a minute. It's happening the last Saturday in March, which I think that's March the 27th is the last Saturday in March. It's absolutely free. Your listening audience can go online to www.christianauthorsontour.com to register. And then, yes, sir, we do have the Men of Christian Authors on Tour coming up the last Saturday in June. So that's going to be June 26th. That's also a free event. And we will probably start posting information about the Men of Christian Authors on Tour probably sometime in April. But right now we're focused on the ladies. Christian fiction author D.M. Cuffey will be one of the moderators along with myself, and it's a panel of Christian authors from all over the country. And we're really excited. So we want to encourage your listening audience to go online to www.christianauthorsontour.com.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are the women, good God almighty, are they lifting up men or are they bashing men?
Oh, no. Where'd you get that from?
I don't know.
No. So our focus for this year is shining God's light in a dark world. And so the ladies of Christian Authors on Tour, as well as the men of Christian Authors on Tour in June, but the ladies first in March, that last Saturday in March, will be talking about their books in the context of shining God's light in a dark world. And so we have a number of phenomenal women. We have Reverend Dorothy Scott Bulware, former editor of the Afro-American newspaper here in Baltimore, who is also a Christian author. She's written several books, and she is one of the panelists. We have Mitzi Carasculo out of Boston, Massachusetts. She wrote a powerful story about overcoming childhood sexual molestation. We have a young woman out of Ohio. She created a movement called Lift Every Voice. And she is such a powerful sister. Her name is Dr. Chanel Price, and she is out of Ohio, and she is also scheduled to participate in the panel. We have a young woman out of, I believe she's based in Florida. Her name is Carolyn L. Austin, and her book is called Prayers of My Mother. And we all know the power of a praying mother. Well, you could just imagine what her testimony is about. And so, you know, the focus on that day, the day is going to be set up in a morning session and an afternoon session. The morning session is going to go from 10 to 12. We'll have an hour break, and then we'll have an afternoon session from 1 to 3. And it will be a panel discussion, 4 authors on each panel, moderated by D.M. Cuffey and myself. And your listening audience, you're welcome to participate, hear these powerful stories from these women of God, and then have an opportunity to interact with them via dialogue, Q&A.
Oh, so that's very educational and inspirational. Let me ask you this question because I want to take advantage of this subject matter, and that is, I'm a person. I've got a piece of paper in front of me, a booklet. I got a pen, and I don't know how to write a book. I don't know what to do once I write it, what the process is, and how to get it published. Let me go to the mountain and ask Dr. Pinder, what do I do? Help somebody.
Well, I think first and foremost, the key is to actually write. So whatever you have in your head, you need to get it out of your head, and you need to get it on paper, or if you're a computer guru, you need to sit at your computer and type it in form. And that's the biggest, that's the first, hurdle, is to get what's in your head down on paper. You know, you have to actually, because a lot of people say, hey, I have an idea, I think I know what I want to write about, but they haven't started writing yet. So the biggest hurdle is to start writing, and you have to be diligent, about that process. It's almost as if you're in school. You have to set aside, your study time where you are writing and you're studying and you're researching, to support whatever it is you're going to write, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. And then you want to do your research. You want to think about what type of book you want to, publish. Do you want to self-publish? Do you want to go through a traditional book company? So you want to start doing your research. And unfortunately, it's hard to do that right now because of COVID restrictions and not all of the bookstores being open, but things are just starting to open back up. And I would strongly encourage someone to just go to the bookstore and browse around, look at the titles, find a book that's similar to an idea that you have or issue or topic that you're working on, and you learn from others. You look at the different book cover styles, you look at the different print and the different type of font that's used in the book, so that you are more aware of, especially if you're self-publishing, so you're more aware of what looks like a quality book. And then the other thing is I would encourage you to join some local writing organizations. Here in Baltimore, There's something called the Black Writers Guild, BWG. They hold meetings the first Saturday of every month, and they have wonderful professional development sessions. Most of them are free or low cost. that you could sign up for, and you have the opportunity not only to meet other aspiring writers and other published authors, but you also get the opportunity to learn the craft. And that's really important. If you're thinking about, hey, this is something that I want to do, I want to write a book, you have to prepare for that. And so you want to start surrounding yourself around people that can help groom you. And so here, like in Baltimore, it's the Black Writers Guild of Maryland, but in almost every state, there's a Black Writers Guild, almost in every city. I know there's one in New York, Harlem, New York, So you want to start doing your research. Even here in Maryland, there's a larger one called the Maryland Writers Guild. And so you want to start doing your research, and you want to start maybe trying to go to some of the meetings. Here in Baltimore, we have the Baltimore Book Festival. Most states have a local book festival. You want to go to those book festivals. You want to go and you want to meet authors, and you want to learn, and you want to talk to them and ask them questions about their writing process so that you can learn from them. Go to events like the ones that we sponsor, Christian Authors on Tour, where you can come. It's not very often when you have the opportunity to meet an author one-on-one and actually speak intimately with an author and talk about and ask questions, and that's what I love about events. Our authors are so, they're so reachable, they make themselves available to readers. And so if you are listening and you're someone that's really interested in writing a book and you want to, get some support, you have to show up and make yourself available, ask questions, do the research.
Wow, that was let me use a collegiate word, a litany of learning right there. I tell you. This is why we have these top-notch folks on this program, so that they can teach and espouse. Oh my goodness, I feel that the transfer of education, the espouse information, so that you can be upgraded and moved to the next level. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you should be a part of the Christian Authors on Tour. If you want to write and you're not a Christian, let God come into your heart and become a Christian, and then call Dr. Pinder. This is fantastic. What a process. It's awesome.
Well, I have to make clear we aren't the type of organization that provides professional development. What we provide is an opportunity for you to connect with other Christian authors. And that's a great way to build your community. And in the world we're living in right now, if we haven't learned anything else with COVID-19, we've learned the power of community. We've learned how important it is to be able to not be isolated, to be able to be connected to people, so that you are able to thrive and make it. And that's what our organization is about. It's a community of authors who are, using their writing as a tool for Christian ministry, but also providing support for other authors and being available to people like your listeners who are Christian book lovers who want to find different titles, because we often hear people saying, hey, it's hard for me to find, these types of books. And, we have authors, who do Christian mystery, Christian romance, children's books, devotionals, the standard nonprofit. Well, we have a few that have done books on nonprofit strategy, but we have some that do the standard nonfiction kind of leadership, kind of women's ministry or, outreach, So we have a wide variety of genres and focuses. So, there's no excuse for somebody to say, hey, I don't know where to go. Well, we have this organization called Christian Authors on Tour, and the website is www.christianauthorsoontour.com, and you're welcome to go and go to the website and check out our upcoming events. We have a blog talk radio show that airs the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th Friday of every month, and this great great giant of a man and pastor, Steve Music Man Turner, is one of our co-hosts on the 5th Friday of every month on our Blog Talk radio show. And we also have the TV show that airs